Trade ministers of 12 nations led by the United States have concluded negotiations on the Trans Paciffic Agreement, or the TPP. This is the biggest free trade deal across the globe. But what does this pact mean for countries like India? Will Indian exporters lose out their competitive advantage? And when it comes to the TPP, is it only about tariffs? Rituparna Bhuyan tries to answer these questions.
This is the mother of all free trade pacts, the Trans Paciffic Partnership Agreement, or TPP, involving 800 million people of 12 nations and accounting for 40% of the world's output. These nations account for 1/4 of India's export basket at about $80 billion. Trade experts maintain that in the short term, there won't be any adverse impact because India is not part of the value chains which the TPP seeks to stimulate.
We find that, in case of intermediate products, and which is really the crux of the value chain story, our share of exports of intermediate products has actually been coming down, and coming down rather steeply. So rather than being a part of these value chains, we are actually, getting out of them.
In the long term, however, India will have to think about the conflicts and complexities arising out of TPP, as the country is preparing to be part of some other mega trade pacts.
It clashes with yet another big agreement which is in the offing, and that is RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, where India would be a part of.
American exporters will see zero duty exports of 18,000 products to the 12 other TPP member nations. But is this mega trade deal only about tariffs? Experts maintain the pact is more about easier domestic laws and less about tariffs.
Starting from standards, all kinds of product standards, to intellectual property issues, competition policy, your government procurement. So all that you can think in terms of the regulatory issues, those have been put into the TPPs.
Another impact of TPP will be that it will reorient dynamics of trade pacts.
Countries would like to have more and more bigger agreements rather than bilateral trade agreements.
The TPP has been referred to as the biggest legacy of President Barack Obama. But to gauge its impact on non-member emerging economies like India, we will have to wait for time. In New Delhi with Rituparna Bhuyan, Arib Sherwani.